Okay, so today we're going to talk you through sourdough. Sourdough is made from 3 ingredients: flour, water and salt. That's it. To make the starter, all we do is mix flour with water, and we do that over several days until it ferments. That is your starter. That starter can be used to make the base of your sourdough, and we'll show you how to make that, and then subsequently the bread itself. The yeast for sourdough is a culture that just picks up naturally from the air. So in the process of just leaving flour and water mixed together, it will ferment and pick the wild yeast up from the air. It can be enhanced by using rye flour, which is a less processed, less genetically modified type of flour and grain. So if you can use the rye flour, then you'll find that you'll get better results with the rise and the performance of the sourdough. Also, sourdoughs are very local to areas where they've been cultured and made, because they'll be drawing the yeast from specific areas, and each one will have very different characteristics depending on where it's made and the conditions that are there. Okay, let's hope that you enjoy learning about sourdough then. Thank you, bye. As explained in the introduction, there's 3 ingredients, of which we're only going to use now is 2. So all we need is water, flour and a container for it. So what we'll do is on day 1 you will take 2 tablespoons of rye flour. If you just, as an example, just put that in the glass, and then you put the same quantity of water in the flour mix as the flour itself. You mix that, close the jar up, leave it in a warm place for 24 hours, then repeat this process over and over again over the period of 5 days. If you find your container gets too full, empty some off, and then just continue the process with what you have left until you find that bubbles start occurring. Once the bubbles occur on your sourdough, then you have your starter. From that we can make the actual bread. So we'll put the flour in the jar with roughly the same amount of water, and like I said, all you've got to do is just mix that in the jar and leave it for 24 hours. Day 2, 2 more tablespoons of flour in with your spoon, and just mix and mix. If you think it's too liquid, then just add more flour. It's just up to you how you want to treat it or what you're comfortable with it doing. Okay, so as I said, over a period of 5 days, just repeat this process until it bubbles. When it's bubbling, it's ready to actually be used as a starter for a bread. We'll just leave that for now, and that's that. So here we have a sourdough mother. We're just going to feed her. So 2 tablespoons of rye flour. Then we add the same amount of water. Doesn't matter whether it's cold. Don't put it in too hot because it will kill the yeast. We add it in, and then we simply just mix it, and that's just how we feed the mother. This process has to be done every day if you're not keeping your mother in the fridge. If you keep it in the fridge, you only have to do it once a week, but the mother will act slower and have a finer texture to the bread. So depends what you want, and also the convenience that you're looking for, because feeding it every day can be quite a chore, and as you can see, it fills up fast. So after 5 days it should be bubbly like this and be ready to be used. Be careful that you don't overfill your container. If you are going to keep it, I would advise putting it in a larger container so that if it does spill out, it just spills out into another container, because it will create pressure and it will try and force itself out. That's why often we use Kilner jars. The Kilner jars are easier to deal with in this situation. So be careful with that, make sure it doesn't explode on you. Then once you've got your sourdough ready for use, it's important to remember that you're going to use part of this sourdough, but you're going to have to keep on feeding the starter. So if you're going to keep it out at room temperature, then you're going to have to feed it every 24 hours with 2 tablespoons of rye flour and the same of water. That is a repeated process every single day. If you want to slow down that process, you can put the mother, as it's called, into a fridge, and then only requires feeding once a week. But what you'll find is that you'll slow down the process of fermentation, which means that the rise on the bread will be slightly slower, your loaf will be a bit more dense. It's a solution for some, but it depends what sort of results you want from your bread. So that's how to keep your sourdough starter. Now to work on how to make the bread.